guys, and welcome back to the Crochet Tour YouTube channel. In today's video I'm doing another episode of Tor Tries where I'm showing you a free crochet pattern that I've done recently and just showing you what I've made and giving you my thoughts on the pattern. So the pattern that I'm showing you today is actually the reason why I'm wearing this scarf. So this is the scarf that I've made and this is called the Simple Seed Stitch Scarf. And it's a free pattern, as I mentioned, so I'll give you all the details about the designer and link that in the description below as well. And I made this as a Christmas present for my dad, so I'm going to post this after Christmas so that obviously there's no spoilers for him because he does watch my videos. But I thought I'd just wear this in the video to show you what it looks like. So yeah, if you're interested in finding out more about this pattern, then keep watching. So the pattern's available on the Kirsten Holloway Designs website for free, or if you want to get the downloadable PDF version of the pattern, then you can pay for that on Ravelry. So I think that's $6 at the moment on the Ravelry website. And it looks like this pattern was published in 2020, so it's a few years old now. But again, I searched like men's scarf pattern, and this was one of the first ones that came up, so I imagine it's quite a popular pattern. In terms of the level of difficulty, I'd honestly say it's beginner because there's not that many stitches involved in this, and I feel like it's quite a repetitive pattern. Obviously with it being a scarf, you're kind of doing the same thing quite a few times, so once you've got the hang of it, it's pretty simple really to finish crocheting this item. And in terms of the stitches used, so there's obviously standard stitches like single crochets, half double crochets and double crochets, and then there's also crab stitches in here as well, which is probably, if there's any stitch in here that you won't have done before, maybe it's crab stitch, but it's not a particularly complicated stitch to do, and the designer does link to a video that helps you with how to do that if you're not sure. So the pattern designer is called Kirsten Holloway, as I mentioned previously. She's American. It looks like she's a stay-at-home mum and she likes to do crochet and run her crochet website alongside being a stay-at-home mum, and she's got 15,000 Instagram followers, so quite a big following. And I had a little look on her website and she does have other patterns available as well, of course. So it looks like she's more into crocheting wearable items, so things like gloves and scarves and possibly hats and things like that as well. So if you're interested in free patterns for wearable crochet items, then I definitely recommend checking out her website. So just to give you a bit more information about the pattern itself, in terms of the weight of yarn that I used and also the crochet hook, I used Aran weight yarn for this scarf, and I used 5.5mm crochet hook for most of the work, so most of the main body of this. And then for the edges, which is where you're doing the crab stitch all the way around, she recommends using a smaller crochet hook for that, so I used my 4mm crochet hook, but I still used the same yarn for everything in this pattern. And yeah, I think that was basically in line with what she suggested in terms of the weight of yarn and also the hook sizes that you use. Then in terms of how long it took me to actually crochet this, I would say it was between 15 and 20 hours. I don't really time it like particularly accurately, but it feels like it wasn't necessarily the quickest thing to make, but it wasn't extremely long to make it either, because there's actually not that many rows required for this because it's not necessarily the widest of scarves. I guess it is fairly wide, but it does work up fairly quickly for a scarf, I would say. So yeah, between maybe 15 and 20 hours in terms of how long it takes to make this, or at least it was for me. You might be able to do it quicker. And then there's also some options, and this is one of the things I liked about the pattern actually, is that there were some options in terms of how long you wanted the scarf to be as well. So there's the 5-foot option, 6-foot and then 7-foot. So I went for 6 because I thought that's probably the average length of a scarf, but if you want it to be slightly longer or shorter, you could adjust the pattern in line with what she says in order to achieve that length, which I always like it when patterns help you out and give you some options for sizing rather than just telling you to sort of work it out yourself, because I'm not very good at changing the size of things from the original pattern. I'm just not that good at crocheting clothes, to be honest, so it's always quite helpful when they spell it out exactly for you in terms of, you know, how long your foundation chain needs to be and things like that. So that was the main thing that I liked about the pattern. Other than that, I just really like how it looks, so I think it looks more complicated than it is actually. So I just really like how the finished look turned out for this. I like the crab stitch around the edge as well. I think that adds an extra dimension to it, and yeah, I found the pattern really easy to follow and there were no mistakes that I saw at all. So yeah, overall I would say I really love this pattern. It's really good for a free pattern, and like I said, there was nothing that I didn't like about it, to be honest. I think if you're looking for a men's scarf, you can't really go too far wrong with this one. And yeah, that basically sums up the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know if you crochet one of these scarves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.